And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears.
Makes the score Bears 7, Browns nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. So a very short kick here. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Mayfield to throw it. It's caught by OBJ. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying, we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
26 months, AOA 33.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Well, at that rate, picking up 3 yards a carry, you and I both know that doesn't cut it in this league and trying to get 1st downs unless you're playing 4-down football. Then that's a whole different situation, but I don't think that's what they're trying to do here. 3rd and 4, though, is still manageable.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Mike spot 9, Mike spot 9. Regular. Pistol. Hey, wahoo!
Mayfield to throw for it on 4th. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out.
1st and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Set, 180. 59.
Crunch time, defense.
Check 50. Up.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The former Giant, Prince Amukamara, on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Ricky. Real. Up. Double up.
From the 24, Mayfield. And now he'll tuck it and run. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a 1st.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And he'll take this one down near the 15. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Twitch. Hurry, hurry. Mike, check. Alert, 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 alert. Right here. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Under crunch.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
That's another Browns first down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. 1st and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back. They'll run with Chubb. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Hey, alert 3.
They'll try again with Chubb. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw, Mayfield. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. Seibert's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Mike 22, he's coming, 22. Hey, Haywood. Mike 22, Mike 22.
And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. With that incompletion, a chance to mention the awards. Now with the season over, Lamar Jackson, as we speculated, he's the MVP, Coach of the Year. John Harbaugh, Lamar's coach. Michael Thomas, Stephon Gilmore, Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. Offensive and Defensive Rookies of the Year. That went to Kyler Murray and Nick Bosa. And the Comeback Player of the Year, Charles, Ryan Tannehill. No surprise there.
Not to mention the #1 award that the NFL gives out, the one that they give the most, the credence isn't the right word, the most attention to, and the one that they want trumpeted the most. That's the Walter Payton Man of the Year, because that represents the totality of a player in the NFL, not just what they do on the field, but off the field as well. And that goes to Calais Campbell, the defensive tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a great award. Congratulations, Calais.
On 2nd and 11 now. Trubisky, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining. here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Open man is Trey Burton. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Scampering home from 19 yards out as the Bears push further out in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end, Njoku. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing, Mayfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Hey, orbit.
4th down, Mayfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
1st down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. This one into the hands of Burton. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. First down, a run with Cohen. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now on 2nd and 16, Trubisky. He's got it. The Bears on the move. They've got another first down.
First and goal at the
check.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be second and goal. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 12-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. Odell Beckham Jr. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
That's a prime example of the danger that Baker Mayfield presents when he's able to get outside of the pocket.
And we see many quarterbacks do this in the league. A lot of them have that good mobility, but we see them, they're more like striders, right? There's a smoothness to them. When I watch Baker Mayfield, everything is sharp, hard, aggressive, and he turns it into a big-time shot downfield in a monster play.
This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can pick it up. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first. That's a precursor of a big second half.
First down, Mayfield. Being chased out left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. From the gun, Mayfield. And he completes it to Hunt. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now on fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. The Bears in good field position to start out first and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a second and 13.
Come on, 180. I got you. Check it out, Reed. Alert, 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 alert. 61, matchbox right.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On third down, Trubisky. Finding Gabriel, complete. A nice pickup of 23 on the third down conversion.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. They'll run on first down. Cohen, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Again, it's Cohen. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On third down, a run with Cohen. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. The kick by Pinheiro is good. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
It's a very short kick, taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Browns drive about to get started. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here. This is caught inside the 15. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown of the night, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Trubisky gives to Cohen, and they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. Fourth down. Here's Trubisky. The catch made by Miller. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now, and here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They try again with Cohen. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Now, this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Here's Trubisky. And he completes it to Cohen. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back him up 5. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Taken in at the 11. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
3rd down and 10.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let him know, let him know. Hey, alert, 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 alert. Check smooth. Check my 21. King. Come on, QB, come on. Hey, switch gears.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Mayfield on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw. Deep depth. And a crusher there as it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.